Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 5th round of the Formula ROBLOX League Division 1 Championship. Today we will be racing at Rio Street Circuit, as qualifying is going to get underway shortly. Let me announce that in the chat as well. I need to check something before I can commentate. It's always a hassle to get a few extra drivers perhaps on the grid for today. We've got a familiar face from yesterday on the grids. The guy who managed to get his maiden podium on his debut yesterday is also going to be able to serve driving in today's race. If, of course, he is qualified to do... I was about to check if he is actually allowed based on his skill rating, but he doesn't have to because he got a 3rd place in... because XR got a top 5 finish in Division 2, so he is qualified to take part in today's session, regardless of his skill rating. So that should be good. So we've got 10 drivers in game right now. We're missing a handful of drivers. There's one seat as we speak up for grabs for today's race. If anyone on this court is willing to take over that seat alongside Tailfire, as the main driver, a little oldie, apparently has a league race of his own at this moment. So they are not sure if they're going to have 2 cars for today. So if you're watching the stream right now, you're in our Discord, and you are a reserve driver, and you have over 1250 TSR, then go ahead, go claim that seat. Okay, we're up to 11 drivers now. It's good to see. We're still missing 3 drivers. One of the cross cars. We're missing one of the cross cars at the moment. Let's see what else we are currently missing. I see only one purple car, but that's not the car that he should be driving. One car, Memonos, he should be driving this car, which his teammate Darkar is driving. We are missing both Agin Racing Squad cars. They are our championship leaders, I'm pretty sure. Yes, they are comfortably leading, and they're both absent at this point in time. So that's not good. Who else are we missing? Well, I think we've got both GTN01, the silver cars in here. We are missing, let's see, Ignaps in here. Yeah, Hartman just joined, okay, that's one less car missing. Good. What car is XR driving? He is driving alongside Splaster. We've got both black cars. We are missing... I think we may be missing a Zephyr car. No, we don't. We have RX Gamer back on the grid. He conceded his... he's now a reserve driver, but because the regular driver, Obakui, isn't able to come. He steps in that car for today. Who are we missing apart from the... We've got one Agin Racing Squad driver missing, and we have got... Who else are we missing? Yeah, and that cross car. Okay, so we know who we are missing. There's still one driver spot up for grabs. Looks like we're about to have someone claim that seat. Let me check. It's SR quickly, so I'm going to go away from full screen. Give me one quick moment. One moment. Okay. Let's check that person's SR quickly. Quick Roblox, thanks. Okay, good. Okay, so he's allowed to take part. Okay, back to qualifying. We found a driver to drive alongside Tailfire if Little Audio, of course, doesn't turn up. Okay, let's see who's in pole position. We've got Almighty Device, who is in the second race right now, on provisional pole position, ahead of our championship, our new championship leader, no, not our championship leader, sorry, very sorry. Got Darkar in second place, Hartman, our championship leader, is in third place. We've got XR33 in fourth place. Very impressive stuff on this debut today. Drove in, got third in Division 2 yesterday, and now it seems to do a very good job so far in this qualifying session. We've got Tailfire in P5, RX Gamer in P6, our usual suspects, Leon, Detemi and Smastar 7th, 8th and 9th. We've got Anthony's in 10th, Destructively in 11th, and Eminos rounding up the grid in 12th place. Okay, there's one more driver. Reserve is about to make his debut. If he can join the server in time, having trouble right now joining the server. Let's hope he can do that very quickly. Very close at the top, by the way, of Hartman with just 4,000. The top three actually very close, within 1/10 of each other. I've got Hartman on pole position with Darkar just 4,000 behind, and Almighty further 600ths of a second further back as the Temi slams into the wall on the exit. He's not going to improve that time, so that's our grid sorted for the race. Let me screenshot the results as always. We'll wait for everyone to go. I was not. Let's see if everyone's able to move. I think everyone is. Everyone's ready? So, counting down for the start now. Tell me they were too excited to get going. There we go, it's lights out and away we go for this race. So you didn't have to wait for anyone stalling. But unfortunately, we've had one driver stalling yesterday, so that's why we decided to go for this start format. So it's lights out, away we go. It's Darkar out here in the lead, just ahead of Hartman and Almighty. The start always very messy, always very packed, full, a lot of position swaps as always. But Darkar seems to have a little margin to Hartman. And speaking of Hartman, he's getting a very good run out of that, out of turn 5. And now is ahead, is now leading the race right now with Almighty just behind Darkar, looking to reclaim because he was on provisional pole for quite a while, but just got beaten, just got demoted to 3rd place, so that's going to cost him. So we've got one retirement already, and his name is Eminoz. Unfortunately, I assume he disconnected because I believe he has had some connection issues in previous rounds, so I think he may have disconnected. It's unfortunate to see our 14th driver wasn't able to our 14th driver unfortunately wasn't able to join in time. Too much of a hassle, it seems. Unfortunate. So he's going to have to wait for his debut. But we've got a very close gap, very close battle in front. It's Hartman between Almighty, fighting Almighty and Darkar for a lead, with Tilfire also hanging in there. So looking like this could become a very interesting race today. Actually, Tilfire having lost a little bit of touch, but still has a margin down to 5th place to Temi. Who is trying to hold off Exile, who's been doing a very good job so far in this division as a debutant here, who just made his FRL League debut yesterday in Division 2. So he's doing a stellar job so far, ahead of his teammate Splastar. And we've got our X-Gamer in 8th place, Lean Daps in 9th, we've got Destructively 10th, and Destructively just overtaking Leon right there as we speak. We've got Anthony dropping down the order to 12th place, never mind, back in the 11th, swapping positions with his teammate and JL161, who is replacing Blaine for this race. So Very eventful start so far. We've still got a three-way fight. Looks like Till has made a couple of mistakes and now is under pressure from the likes of XR and Splastar just behind him. So unfortunately Till not able to hang on to that leading pack, the leading trio here. It looks like Darko has surged ahead for the time being. Hartman and Almighty running wide out of the hairpin, doesn't lose him too much time though. Does slow him down. The game does slow them down a little bit, but they're still able to carry on. Let's have a look. We're on board with Almighty right now as with a new helmet, trying to chase down Hartman and Darkar. Not a great sequence of corners from Almighty. Lost some time through that first chicane. Let's see how it takes turn 3. Very nicely done. Using all space available. Late apex, that's what you want to do. A little bit of lag, so we didn't see how he took that particular corner. You see that he did manage to hit the apex of turn 5, so he's doing a solid job right now, and is now challenging Hartman, it seems, who may have gotten a slowdown penalty, I'm not too sure. But Almighty is now up into second place with Darkar with a 1.3 seconds lead over Almighty. So Darkar looking very strong in this race, and looks like he's going to be the driver to beat for today, but we'll see how this race will go on. We've got Tailfire, who managed to pull away from XR, now in no man's land in 4th place. Eminol's, yeah, there we go. He has rejoined, but unfortunately isn't able to take part in the race anymore. Apparently his power went out. That's really unfortunate if you're DNF like that. A real shame to say, but we are now watching a battle as everyone seems to be running wide out of the... I'm not sure what corner turn that is, but out of the right-hander. Now approaching the hairpin. Looks like because running wide is a bit more lenient than it used to be in this game. It looks like some drivers find it easier, although it's a little bit slower. Some drivers find it more are more comfortable running a bit wide instead of taking keeping the car within track limits. So. Curious to see if more drivers, if that happens to be quicker, then it's going to be patched, if that's the case. But anyway, if it seems to be a viable option, I wonder how many drivers will do that strategy. Not going to outlaw it, as we've got RX LP fighting with the two Hellas Racing guys. Let's have a look again for the battle for P5. It looks like Darker has pulled out, is pulling away from Almighty right now, and Almighty also pulling away from Hartman in 3rd place. So the top 3 have settled in this race for the time being. Tailfire a little bit further back, about 3.5 seconds further back from Hartman. He's and 3 seconds ahead of the Temi. So Tailfire is in no man's land at this moment in time. Looking at, I think, another boring race, because he seems to be in this situation quite often, just not being able to keep up with the leaders perhaps, but quicker than the guys behind him. You know, I've got Temi taking a tighter line through the left-hander, and seems to have paid off. Has got a really good run out of the right-hander. Approaching the hairpin, he has about a half-second gap behind to XR, who is also being chased down by the reserve driver JL161, who also drives in Division 2. Let's see who we have. Let's have one quick overview of the drivers again. We've got Darkar in the lead. Has one race so far. Let me check. Let me fact check this. He has won. He won at Flevo. 2 DNFs, I believe, and got P5 last time out at Gisborne. Yeah, got P5 last time. Missed one race. Was a favourite heading into this season. A lot of people said that he would be fighting for the championship. He doesn't seem to be fighting. Well, he's only 25 points behind, so never behind the leader. He's in 6th place in the championship, only 25 points behind. So that championship is still up for grabs for the driver who can pull in some excellent results in the final 3 races of this season. But yeah, Dakar looking like the quickest man out there. He is looking very good to take this race win today. But of course, let's see how this race is going to develop. It's a long race, we've got 25 laps to go, so we'll have to wait to see how things play out. And we've got Almighty in his second race. He managed to get second on his debut last week, so he has been very impressive from the get-go in FRL, and he seems to carry on his form in this race. So great to see a new driver, new face in the league, getting some good results, especially in this division. We've got our championship leader Hartmann, who just ran right out of the penultimate corner in third place. He's our championship leader, got third last time as only a 2-point lead over the Temi, who's down in fifth place at the moment. Hartmann in a better form than the Temi at the moment, and he's looking very strong. He's the favourite at the moment, I would say, to take home the Division 1 title. Of course, after this we've got 2 more races, so things can happen. Then we've got Ichi Capadonna, who isn't here right now, in third place in the championship, 19 points behind Hartmann. He is missing this race, so I think he's not going to be able, and he hasn't really been putting in the results lately, so I don't think he's going to be in the championship fight. Then we've got Hillfire, also 19 points behind Hartmann. It does seem like Hartmann is a little bit quicker based looking at the last couple of races we've had, so I think Till is out of the championship fight, I would say. And we've got Blaine in 5th place, but he's missing this race. So yeah, there's only Darkar if he can string a couple of good races, and Hartmann underperforming, then maybe Darkar is our best bet to challenge Hartmann, or the Temi if the Temi gets managed to do a better job in the next 2 rounds, because right now he is 2 points behind Hartmann in championship and 2 places behind Hartmann on track in this race. Has been outperformed by Hartmann in the last 2 races, so but still very much in the championship. Things could change drastically. But yeah, don't think we've had a single driver, at least in the top 6, who managed to finish all the races, unlike Division 2. So everyone has dropped some points here and there. I'm lying. The Temi actually did all the races in 2nd place. No credit taken away from him. He did a very good job at rounds 2 and 3 at Lukov and Apicana, getting 3rd and 2nd place. Hasn't won the race so far. We've had 3 different race winners in 4 races so far. We've got Blaine, who isn't here. He's won every race he has been in, so real shame that he doesn't seem to be in the title hunt, because he certainly has the capability demonstrated by his 2 wins that he can could potentially have won this championship if he did all the races. Then we've got Hartmann, who's got 1 win on his name, 1 pole and actually 2 poles. He also got pole position last time out at Gisborne, but didn't manage to convert that into a race win. He got 3rd place that round. But Hartmann is 20 losing track here. Hartmann won the 3rd round of this championship, which is his only win so far. He's got 1 DNF, 1 2nd place and 1 3rd place to his name as well. So he's done a very solid job in this championship for sure. Then we've got Dark, who has got 1 win on his name so far and nothing else noteworthy. I believe 1 DNF in the 1st round at Flevo, where he only scored. Well, he did manage to get the podium. No, he got a front row start, but did not finish the race, I believe. He's got 1 DNS, 1 race win, and 1 5th place to his name. Now, let's see if we've got any bets on our hands. We're now looking, we've been on board with the Temi for a while, who is chasing down Hillfire, and who has been catching him ever so slightly. But if Till can be consistent, then he should be able to stay ahead of the Temi right now. This isn't Gisborne, where if you are within 1 second, you're going to breeze past another driver. this isn't Gisborne, this is a street circuit, this is the Rio street circuit where overtaking is much harder. It isn't for granted if you are right behind someone that you are going to take home, that you're going to overtake that person. Like, and dirty air is also going to play a much bigger role here. The slipstream is non-existent here because of the short straight, and there's a lot of corners, so a lot of places where you can lose time due to the dirty air. So overtaking isn't for granted around here. You have to really do it on merit. Last time out in Gisborne, we saw a lot of cars swapping positions back and forth from pretty much the entire race. If you basically were within 1 second, and if you didn't make any mistakes, no matter if you had a little bit less pace than the car ahead of you, then you could stick with them, take the slipstream, and have battle with them, as it's raining really hard right now over here. I'm not sure if you are able to hear it in the background. But yeah, here it's not that easy to overtake. You really have to have better pace if you want to overtake the car ahead of you due to the dirty air, combination of dirty air and the short straight we have around here. So we've got Splash all the way. Splash having lag issues, so it looks like it's the end of this race for him. I think he's at the hairpin right now, on the run of the hairpin. And look, I think he may, yeah, he's giving up. Okay, that's a shame to see. Some drivers having lag issues. We're now looking at Anthony, who's battling our ex-gamer for 9th place. Also, notably, having had lag issues in the past. Does seem he's fine for now. His teammate also not so far behind, also having complained about lag issues in the past. Then up the order we've got Destructively XR in 7th place, pretty much a no man's land, but with JL not too far ahead, so if he can string together a couple of good laps, then he is going to challenge, as we've got a battle going on for 5th place right now, or 4th place between the Temi and Tailfire. Both braking around the 100 meter board for the very, very tight hairpin, the slowest corner in the entire game, and this Tailfire who just about surged ahead in this battle for the time being. The Temi is going to get a little bit of slipstream probably, and close in a little bit again. It's they're pretty much even at this point in time. We're now 9 laps into this race, Darkar having started the 10th lap of this race, sitting very comfortably out in front. Meanwhile, we've got Tailfire and the Temi fighting it out for 4th place over here, just outside the podium. And they both are looking to score some solid points today, especially the Temi, as he is, as I said before, in a championship battle with Hartmann. And if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive, he has to not concede as little points to Hartmann as possible. If but Hartmann did take pole position, I am pretty sure. One check. Yeah, Hartmann did get pole position, so he's going to get an additional 2 points, and the Temi, who only managed 8th in qualifying, isn't going to get a qualifying bonus. So as things stand for now, with the Temi in 4th, Hartmann is going to gain 4 points after this race, which is going to make, as the Temi just made a mistake, cut the corner a bit too hard. Hartmann really having worn tyres at the moment. Tyre being quite more a factor around here than around tracks like Gisborne, for example. Hartmann carrying on for the time being. Let's look on board with him, see how he is doing. I think if you are really familiar with the game and if you pay really close attention, then perhaps you can notice that he is understeering. You see the tyre wear coming into play here, struggling to go through corners a lot more. I'm pretty sure at this point, if he would choke on new self tyre, so he would go 1.5 seconds faster a lap. I'm not sure. But yeah, he is in no man's land right now. He has dropped off from Almighty. Is still very much safe from his championship rival, the Temi, who is in 4th. Still battling with Tilfai. He doesn't want to give up that 4th position. Of course, Tilfai, he has said before the race that he wants to do his best. He wants to get it on the podium, which if he wants that, he has a lot of work to do. But first of all, he has to take P4 from the Temi. He has to beat the Temi in this race, and Tilfai being very determined to do so, but struggling right now to get ahead and break away from the Temi, it seems. But yeah, this is a very interesting battle that has been developing over the last few laps. They've been really at it, still trying to get the better of each other. Temi running wide, so does Tilfai. Hartman struggling with his tyres. A lot of tyre. I'm not sure how he managed that, as the Temi is now going into the pits for an early stop. So is Hartman. So they're both going for an early stop here. Just like we saw yesterday with one of the Division 2 drivers. I can't recall at this moment in time. Both going for an early stop, so they either have to stop again. It's very early. Ideally, you pit after 14 laps, but they have pitted after 11 laps. So they either have to convert to a 2-stop or try to strike those tires, which, especially for Hartman, isn't going to be an easy task at all. Let's have a look more with the Temi on new tires, see what the difference is here. Should be quite a difference to be on new tires right now. Being able to take those corners a lot faster, a lot of corners around here at Rio. It's going to be make a pretty big difference whether you're on new tires or not. As I said before, could be up to 1.5 seconds, the difference between new and old tires. So very interesting to see how the Temi and Hartman will do with their early stops. It would be great if they could perhaps convert to a 2-stop and see how the 2-stop would work around here, because it's not out of hand, a 2-stop. It's not a bad idea at all, as Darkar's just in the pits. No, he isn't, but Almighty has closed the gap to Darkar in the last couple of laps. That gap used to be 6 seconds, I'm pretty sure. Now it's down to 3 seconds. So that advantage has been cut in half. Not sure how Darkar has been doing. He seems to be doing fine at the moment. Yes, doing fine so far. Really chucking it down outside. Got to mention that. Meanwhile, we've got Hartman trying to pass XR, who hasn't pitted so far. Hartman, of course, has, so he must have he should have a big tyre advantage. Let's look on board with XR and see the difference between the two drivers. One is on new tyres and the other is on old tyres. And you can see Hartman being able to take that corner a lot faster than XR. You can really tell the difference. XR trying to rotate that car, a lot of understeer, and while Hartman just breezing through those corners. Already having pulled a second from XR, I'm pretty sure may have also made a small mistake, but yeah, XR really struggling, as you can see here, compared to Hartman. Very interesting to see, but those guys are nearly at their pit window, just one lap away from making a pit stop. But let's see how Hartman and the Temi are doing with the early stops. Let me think for a second here, because at worst, Hartman's already passed XR, who's yet to pit. The Temi is 6 seconds behind XR. I think if he would do a 2-stop, he would definitely catch up to XR. He's probably even going to catch up to XR if he would stay out for a couple of more laps. So I think seeing if it's worth going for a 2-stop here. At worst, Hartman, who's already behind Tilfai. So I was about to say, the only person they have to worry about is Tilfai. But Hartman already catching up to Tilfai right here, so he's going to take over that 3rd place in a few moments. Of course, being on new tyres. Made a mistake through turn 1. But Hartman on new tyres, let's see the difference here. Surely Tilfai coming into the pits at the end of this lap Oh, very not a good corner from Hartman. Had to correct mid corner, which is not what you want. Of course, Hartman has dirty air to deal with, but he's still got a lot more grip than Tealfire, and now goes in front, takes over that third position he was previously in before the round of pit stops. So yeah, look at the difference here. So I was about to say Hartman could do a 2-stop and still be fine. Could pit around lap 20, I would say, and still come out ahead of Tealfire, not lose any positions. Of course, that depends on what the Temi does, because who Hartman was previously, the Temi's his championship rival. Let's see the gap between the two. I believe you lose 22 seconds in the pits. Yeah, Hartman's going to be well behind the Temi if the Temi stays out. So I think if Hartman pits, goes for a 2-stop, it could be very close. But of course, the more worn these tires get, the faster those lap times are going to go up. So it is a risk for sure if you want to stay out in this race. But yeah, Tealfire having firmly taken that 4th position for the time. I mean, Hartman's having firmly taken that 3rd position for the time being. As I believe Dakar is staying out. There is Tealfire in the pits now, making his first and only pit stop. Actually, Dakar just came out of the pits. I'm sorry, his cap significantly dropped. So did Almighty. They both pitted exactly at the halfway point, which I reckon most people would do in this race. There's no compound, so only one type of tire, so it does make sense to pit at the halfway point, as Tealfire just comes out in 6th place with... what's going on with the Temi? He was going really slow. I'm not sure what happened to him. He is going again. What happened with the Temi? I'm not too sure. When I came to watch him, which is probably something that Leclerc would say, actually. It's probably not proper English, I'm sorry. When I went... Let's not make the same mistake as Charles Leclerc did. When I started spectating him, he was going slowly. He was at the side of track, going very slow. Not sure what happened there. Hartman having a lot of tire wear to deal with. Very concerning for him. So I think he, by my reckoning, he's going to go for a 2-stop, especially as he's got a pretty large gap with the Temi at this stage. So it might be worth it to convert to his 2-stop for Hartman, especially if he's struggling with the tires as he is right now. Let's see if I can find a battle on track. Then I'm going to go AFK for a quick moment. I'll be right back. Let's look at what with Hartman for the time being. He's chasing down Almighty, who is on new tires though, so I don't think Hartman will catch Almighty, but you never know. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back, and it looks like looking at Almighty, he is closing in on Darkar for the race win. So far, so the gap only being 2.7 seconds right now. So that could be interesting. Slowly but surely catching. Let's see if there are any battles. Right now, Temi all the way down in 8th right now. Let's see, did he just make another pit stop? I'm not sure, but Temi really down the order right now. Not looking good for his, not looking good for the championship right now. But Almighty is indeed closing the gap to Darkar. Let's stay on board with him for the time being and see what happens. I think 2 more guys went into the pits. Saw a few gaps shoot up. I'm not so sure. Maybe I'm a bit blind or seeing things that aren't there. But what is happening though is that what is for certain is that Almighty is catching Darkar for the race lead with 11 laps to go in this race. Meanwhile, while we are watching Almighty chase down Darkar for the lead, let's have a quick talk about the team's championship in this race. So we've got Agin Racing Squad, the purple guys, who are currently sitting quite comfortable in 3rd and 4th place. I'm not sure if JL is yet to make a pit stop. But those guys are leading the team's championship by quite a margin actually. They are leading the championship by 48 points from Spinella F1 team, who are in 2nd place. So one of their drivers having retired and one reserve driver of them, XR, doing quite well in 6th place. But their rivals, GTN01, who are driving the Silvercast team of the Temi and Destructively, they are in 3rd in the championship and they are equal on points with the Spinella team. So I'm not sure how things will stand after this race. They're either going to gain a similar amount of points, or maybe because GTN have 2 drivers here right now, they may gain a couple of points. They may overtake Spinella for 2nd place, but I'm not too sure on that. Then in 4th place, quite far back, actually no, I'm sorry, not too far back, 10 points further back actually, and 58 points away from Agin Racing Squad. We've got Cross Autosport, who are currently singing P5 and No Show, and DNS. They're going to score a fair amount of points this round. It's a shame, managed to find a last minute driver who could drive for that team, but unfortunately wasn't able to join in time, so only one cross car driving at the moment, which is Tilfai, who is in 4th place right now, so he just overtook JL for 4th place. Then we've got Hellas Racing in 5th place, the Greek pair of Leon Daps and Antonis Greece. They are in 7th and 10th place respectively. Have been around those positions all season, but they have been scoring consistently, except for the last race where they only managed to bring home 6 points. But for the rest, consistent scorers. Only 5th in the championship though. They are still going to score a fair chunk of points after this round. Then in 6th place in the championship, we've got Opar X Racing on 60 points. They are 6 points behind Hellas Racing, and they are 91 points behind Agin Squad, so they can't win the constructors anymore. We're now watching one of the Opar X drivers, who is in 2nd right now, looking to score a lot of points, and RX Gamer in 9th place. Let me think for a second. I think they are looking at their best scoring race so far. They scored a lot of points in the first round, 26 to be exact. They only scored 6 points in the 2nd round, didn't score, so 2 DNSs in the 3rd round, and they scored, they had the best point scoring, they had the best results last time out at Gisborne with 28 points, and they it looks like they may break that points tally this round, actually. Then, moving to the last team on our list, who is currently sitting in 7th and last place in our team's championship, is the Darnos outfit. Drivers being Dakar and Aminos. They are on opposite sides of the timing table, actually, as Aminos unfortunately disconnected, and Dakar looking set to take home a second win. Did win one race already. They haven't scored too many points. 9 points in the first round, 27 points due to Dakar winning and 1 DNS. They had no car starting the race at Picanma a few weeks ago. And then last time out at Gisborne, they managed to bring home 16 points, a very respectable 16 points. They are in last right now, but only 8 points behind the next team, who are OPARX Racing, but OPARX also set to score a solid chunk of points, so maybe they should be more looking at overtaking perhaps Hellas Racing, or maybe even Cross Autosport, but that would be a long shot. Yeah, Cross is a long shot, but maybe they can. So they are in a championship fight with a fight for P5 with Hellas Racing, OPARX for 5th place in the championship. All three teams looking at scoring some decent points today, especially OPARX and Darnos in this round. But yeah, those are the teams. Agin Racing Squad looking very comfortable. They can actually, just thinking, no, they can't wrap up the championship. They can realistically, if they keep up the performance, wrap up the championship next round at New Jersey Street Circuit. They are 48 points clear of the guys in P2. A team can score, let me think quickly, they can score 27 plus 3, they can score 50 points if my maths are correct each round. 25, yeah, 47 plus 2 points plus 1 point for the qualifying bonuses. They can, a team can score 50 points every round. It really looks like they're going to extend their championship lead to the guys in 2nd place and 3rd place perhaps as well. So they're looking good to secure their championship next week in New Jersey, having a pretty comfortable lead right now. Back to the race, Almighty has dropped back a little bit from Dakar. I think the Temi has made a second stop. Let's look at this turning ability. I'm not sure if actually they made a second pit stop or is just nursing those worn tyres home at this point in time. Anyway, we've got Leon Daps in 7th place. A pretty respectable result that would be for him, because his best result right now is, let's see, no, he actually got 6th, that's it, twice, so still a pretty solid result, as he only managed to score 2 points last time out, with a shock 2nd place in qualifying, and a DNF in the race, unfortunately due to lag issues. Looks like Anthony, as Leon's teammate, is struggling at this point in time. Let's see if we've got any battle. We haven't had too many battles in this race so far. Dakar just having lapped Anthony. Yeah, we've only got Almighty 3 seconds back from Dakar. Maybe if Dakar makes a mistake, Almighty does some almighty laps and showing, making that pun again for a 2nd week in a row. If Almighty puts in really good laps, then perhaps we can see a battle for the lead, which would be very nice to see. Then we've got JL and XR also not too far away from each other on track right now. I'm not sure how their tyres are doing. My guess is that they are both on the 1 stop, although JL may be on a 2 stop, judging by how his car's turning. I think JL may have pitted again, not too sure, because his turning looks really good. Let's compare that to XR real quickly, who should be on 9 lap old tyres by now, 8-9 laps old. See how he turns through this, and then compare it to... Yeah, I think JL's definitely on new tires at this point, so I think JL might overtake XR in the closing stages of this race, opting for a 2-stop here. Not sure how he was doing before the pit stop phase, so I can't really tell right now if the 2-stop was a good move or not. Anyway, P5 would be a great result for him, the regular Division 2 driver. Once again, replacing one of the Agin Racing squad guys, and with his 6 positions, which could turn into a 5th place finish, doing a good job helping the team with their championship efforts. So as a reserve, JL doing an excellent job here by bringing home solid points for the team. Of course, still obviously has to catch XR, not catching that fast at the moment. Hartman has pitted again, I'm pretty sure, because now he's on 10 rears. Having a lot of tire wear, seems to be the only one to have that issue. We'll probably talk about that after the race, how other drivers' tire wear how it was for other drivers. But yeah, maybe a bit odd. I'm not sure how other drivers are doing. I know that there were drivers who had 60% tire wear on one of their tires in Division 2 yesterday. So tire wear definitely being a factor here. Getting into the closing stage of this round, we've got a position swap here. RX, I believe, overtaking the Temi in the battle of RX. I think it's RX overtaking the Temi here. The Temi having really a shocker of a race. The championship contender here, not doing good business for the championship. Yeah, it looks like he just got overtaken. He had this moment earlier on in the race where he got stuck, where we called him being stuck or going very slowly for a moment. Not sure what was up there. But he's in all the way down in 9th place, while his championship rival Hardman is all the way up into 3rd place. So not looking good for the championship, who was leading the championship before last week's race. I've been in the lead for 2 rounds, I believe. But yeah, it's yeah, he really has to improve if he wants to stay in the championship fight at this point, assuming that Hartman is going to keep doing what he's doing right now, getting in solid results for himself. Anyway, let's see. Almighty has dropped back to 3.6 seconds, so he isn't catching Darker anymore. So really starts to look like his Darker is napping someone up ahead. It increasingly looks like Almighty will have to settle for 2nd place in the round. Actually saying that, the gap suddenly dropped down to 2.4 seconds, so maybe it isn't over. Maybe Dark Car is getting distracted or even getting held up by the lap car, getting some dirty air. Still behind the lap car. I think he may have some dirty air to deal with. I think that really... I think that's a dirty air into play here, losing a lot of time behind the backmarker. He's still right behind the backmarker. I think he should be ahead in his screen now. But yeah, he's now getting ahead of the lap car of destructively running wide out of the right-hander. Now he is ahead of destructively. Let's see how quickly Almighty can get past Destructively, who might get lucky here because he's on the straight. He is well in the slipstream of Destructively, I'm pretty sure. So he's going to get a decent amount of slipstream, and he is going to close the gap, I reckon, to 2.1 seconds by the time we get to turn 1. Yeah, the gap is dropping down. It's actually 2.0 now. Having to deal with dirty air through turn 1. Well, sure, Destructively having a lot of pace compared to the race leaders, maybe on newer tires, which could explain why Destructively is seemingly pretty well keeping up with the leaders, sort of, or having pretty close pace. But now Almighty is having to deal with the dirty air. No blue flags because of no collision. But Almighty has got past destructively now, but has lost time again. Still has gained a half a second from dealing with the back marker, but still, don't think it will be enough to go for the race win. We'll see how things will go on. With just 2 laps after this one, the Mighty again running a bit wide, coming into the hairpin, using all space on the left, going into the hairpin. That's fine, using as much space as you can without without losing time. Obviously, because if you run off the track, not only you lose a bit of top speed, the car's a lot draggier, you also can't turn as well, and your braking also gets a little bit worse. So being off track really usually isn't worth it, although we've seen some drivers going assumingly wide on purpose out of some corners. I'm not sure if it's actually faster though. It's definitely more convenient for some drivers, I reckon, for sure. But 2 laps to go. Darkar has now started the penultimate lap of this race. He has a 3.4 second advantage to Almighty and is pretty much looking like he is going to take home the win. Anthony Uve, what the heck right there. I'm not sure how come, but the Temi is actually suffering right now. Still right behind our ex-gamer. Meanwhile, let's have a look at those two, because this is a battle for position. Let's not forget that. But let's also keep an eye on the gap between Almighty and Darkar, because if that gap drops, we're going straight back to that battle for the lead. Anyway, we're now focusing on the Temi and our ex-gamer right here. The Temi, pretty sure every point will count for him, so he will be eager to get in front of RX before the end of this race. I'm not sure where Darkar is on track, because I reckon they're also pretty close to lapping each other. I'm not sure what's going on with the Temi. Is he having lag? Actually, I think I really get the impression that he has lag issues right now. That's why he's going slowly and losing time again to our ex-game who's in front. There is our race leader just behind. Temi running wide. I am very certain he is dealing with some kind of lag issues right now. But here is Darkar about to lap the Temi. A championship contender being lapped here, so the Temi not having a good day at the office, clearly. Now behind Darkar, as Darkar is soon going to start the final lap, so it will be the final lap for the Temi, unless the Temi unlaps himself, but I don't think he will. He gets briefly ahead, but gets a lot of understeer, a huge slowdown, but his teammate is a little bit further back, so I think he's got P9 in the back. Yeah, our ex-gamer having a firm grip on that P8, still not being lapped. I think he is, I guess he's just about going to be lapped. Almighty meanwhile dropping back, the gap's now 4.7 seconds, so I don't think he's going to challenge Darkar, which will leave Darkar to take home a second win of this season. Unfortunately not in this championship fight. I really wish he was, because he missed 2 races, but also won 2 races. Surely going to do good business in his championship, getting ever closer to securing a spot for next season for Division 1, because in Division 1, if you finish in the top 6, you are guaranteed, of course, unless you don't want to continue in FRL. If you get top 6 in the championship, then you are guaranteed to stay for next season. You can't get demoted or anything, you have a guaranteed state. Of course, if you choose to continue in Season 2. I believe Darkar being in 6th place or around that position in the championship. But yeah, I think Darkar's just about going to lap RX Game. If I were RX Gamer, I would just let Darkar go and finish the race now. He has got this position in the back. Darkar crosses the line to win the race. RX Gamer remains unlapped, so he's going to carry on. Almighty comes home in 2nd place. A great effort from him. Then we've got Harper, now championship leader, looking to extend his championship lead over the Temi. Coming around the final couple of corners now. Through the final chicane, which is flat out just a mere obstacle here. Hartman takes on 3rd place in this race. and extends his championship. We've actually got a battle going on between JL and Tailfire, which is going down to the wire on this final lap of this race. JL on newer tyres. I think he's just going to steal that 4th position from Tailfire. Let's see if Tailfire can do anything about it. He will have to take the final couple of corners really well. Tries to really throws the car into the corner, but doesn't seem like he. It looks like JL is just about going to steal. That 4th place from Tailfire, but Tailfire comes home in 5th place. We've got XR, the debutant, who made his debut yesterday in Division 2. Solid effort for him, taking home 6th place and scoring a solid amount of points. Leon about to come home in a very respectable 7th place. Then there is RX. Weaving, use your screen time to wave to the fans perhaps by weaving your car, I don't know. RX weaving as he's the last person to come across the line in PA, just avoid being lapped. Probably want to do it to get some screen time here, not too sure on that, but yeah, that's race over. Darkheart takes home his 2nd win, and I'm going to screenshot this and get out of here. Get out of here because of a tight schedule. I have got something else to do in a short amount of time. But yeah, I am going to end the stream right now. Thank you everyone once again for watching this race. We'll see you probably next week at New Jersey. Have a nice day everyone. Goodbye.